Hey Sugar Geeks, Liz here. Today I'm going to show you my basic muffin recipe. This recipe is so good, it's super moist and makes a great base for pretty much any combination of flavor of muffins you could possibly imagine. So let's go ahead and get our stuff together and let's get started. So the mixing on this one is pretty simple, pretty straightforward creaming method. I'm making a double batch because I am making so many muffins, but a single batch makes about 12 muffins, like large size muffins. I'm putting my softened butter in the bowl and then adding in my sugar. You could use brown sugar if you want more of like a brown sugar flavor. You can also switch the butter out for brown butter, which I highly recommend. And then I'm just gonna blend this up until it's nice and fluffy. This process right here is called creaming the butter and the sugar. And basically what you're doing is you're incorporating a ton of air into the butter with the sugar with the mixers. And you can use a stand mixer if you have one. I'm just using a handheld mixer because I'm trying to show how easy this is, right? You don't need any fancy equipment, just old school. Can you imagine doing this with like a whisk, like a handheld whisk? Okay, once it's nice and fluffy, like so, we're gonna go ahead and add in our eggs. 1, All right, so now I'm going to add my flour into a bowl, and then my baking powder, baking soda, and then my salt, and just give that a little whisk. If you're adapting this recipe to something that's more acidic, like a lemon cupcake, then I would replace, like maybe half of the baking powder with baking soda to react with that acidity. And then I have my secret ingredient, buttermilk. This is like so good. It just adds a little extra something to the muffin that's like, this is so good. And just a little bit more flavorful than your regular old muffin. I'm gonna add my vanilla to my buttermilk, or you can switch out your extracts for lemon, orange, whatever you want that's gonna complement your flavors. What is the difference between a cupcake and a muffin? Frosting? I think to me a muffin is like, yeah, that's healthy. I can definitely have 3 of those for breakfast. And a cupcake is like, oh, it's just a treat. Give me one. Who knows? The world may never know. Okay, so now we're gonna add our liquids and our flour mixture in thirds. So we're just gonna like alternate back and forth. So we're just gonna add a little bit of flour, then buttermilk, then flour, then buttermilk. On low. Make sure all of your ingredients are room temperature. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you this, but just in case. All right, once it's all incorporated, stop. Okay, so now for the fun part, coming up with some unique flavor combinations. All right, so I've got some different types of ingredients here. I've got some fresh fruit like blueberries or chopped up apples, or you can use strawberries, blackberries, stuff like that. I've got chocolate chips, dried fruit like cranberries, nuts like slivered almonds, and I've got some candied pecans here that I'm gonna chop up. Different kinds of zest like lemon, orange, spices. All of this stuff you can just add into the batter and it's not gonna mess it up. It's just gonna give it a different flavor. So that's why this recipe is so great, because it's just a really nice, basic, delicious recipe all on its own, but then you can just add some dry ingredients to it and it's gonna taste even more delicious. So you have just like endless possibilities for delicious muffins. The first one I'm gonna do is just the chocolate chip one. I made this yesterday with Avalon when we were doing our test. It was super fun. So I'm just gonna take some of my batter, put it in another bowl, I just have small amounts here because I'm just adapting like little bits of the batter to make all of these different flavors to show you. But basically it's 1 cup. So you can have like 1 cup of nuts or dried fruit or fresh fruit or chocolate and mix that in, and it's not gonna affect it at all. If you're going to add in zest, you know, that's kind of up to you about how much flavor you wanna add in. Extract, you would just replace the vanilla with whatever extract you wanna use. Spices, kind of like up to you, you know, how much you wanna add. So it's just a matter of testing it out and seeing what works best for you. Add some chocolate chips in here. I think the chocolate chip one would be super good with brown sugar instead of white sugar and brown butter instead of regular butter. And then I'm just using a number 20 scoop to scoop up my batter and fill my muffin tins. These are muffin tins, so they're a little bit bigger than a regular cupcake tin. That doesn't mean you can't use a cupcake tin. You totally can if you want to. I just like bigger muffins, right? So instead of like doing a level scoop like I would with a cupcake batter, I'm like really gonna mound it up because you want to fill up your tins to about 3/4 full. Nice big scoop. You can see how thick the batter is. There. So you want it nice and full. And then because I'm extra, I'm gonna just like take a couple of chocolate chips and put them right on top so they look really pretty when they bake up. All right, we're gonna bake these in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a lot hotter than I know you typically would bake like a cupcake, but that's gonna give us all of this super fluffy top to our muffins, and trust me, it's gonna be really good. Mine take about 17 minutes, but you might need to go a little bit longer. Sometimes, depending on your oven, you might have to go up to 20 minutes, but between 15 and 20 minutes. All right, while those are baking, I'm gonna do a couple other ones. This one I'm gonna do cranberry almond. So I'm gonna put some dried cranberries in there and some slivered onions, and some slivered almonds and some orange zest. Mix that up. This is how you make muffins healthy. All right, for this one, I'm gonna do some chopped up apples. A little bit of my spices. This is a mixture of cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and ginger. Kind of roughly chop some pecans. And then lastly, I'm gonna add in some lemon zest and some blueberries and do some like really simple blueberry muffins. I like lots of blueberries. Okay, muffins are out of the oven. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. I ended up making 6 different kinds of muffin. I got my regular vanilla with the sugar on top that looks really pretty and sparkly, chocolate chip, apple pecan, orange cranberry almond, lemon blueberry, and I even tried one where I put Fruity Pebbles inside of it. I mean, what more can you ask for? Truly endless possibilities. Now that you have your muffins complete, you can definitely add other things like glaze. I just like a simple powdered sugar glaze mixed with a little bit of cream and vanilla, or you can also use lemon extract. And you can just drizzle that over like the cranberry, I think would be a good option. The recipe for the glaze and everything is on my website, sugargeekshow.com. Now, if you want to make something like a pumpkin muffin or a strawberry, that's a little bit more technical. You're going to have to remove some of the liquid and replace it with like a puree. I'll definitely be making more muffin recipes in the future, so if you want more of that, go ahead and hit that subscribe and follow button. I'm Liz Merrick, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy muffin making! Bye!